Yo people, what is up? I want to do something that I think is kind of interesting. I've just played a Blitz game. I kicked ass, I think. I want to take you through the game because this is an angle on... It's something very dear to my heart, which is what on earth to do against d4. And interestingly, I've been watching Grandmaster Simon Williams, the Ginger GM's most recent title, Tuesday, right? And he has played a gambit that he's been calling the Cowboy on Mushrooms gambit, okay? And it's like a transposition into the Charlick, so I'm kind of interested in that. The Charlick is, yeah, dubious. I'll show you what the Charlick gambit is. So it's, and then what we'll do is we'll go through the game, and I want to do a little bit of exploration here as well. So is it, how do you, okay, I don't want to search. Okay, for some reason it's locked into search. So can we flip the board here? Okay, so the Charlick gambit is this. It's from the England gambit, which is dubious in itself. I've got this set to 1800 to 2000 on Lichess, which is about maybe 1400 to 1600 on chess.com. Anyway, so here, the England gambit, you know the normal England gambit stuff, is to kind of attack the pawn a couple of times and then you're going to play queen here. That's the classic trap that most people at this level, kind of top half of intermediate, will know. But the Charlick gambit continues immediately with d6. So now if we look at the most common move here, 61% of the time at this level, is e takes d6, and suddenly black is doing better. Let's have a look at the eval. It's plus 1.2 here. If they take the pawn, a bit less, plus 1.1, because the computer knows that white is up a pawn, but the computer tends to be materialistic, because when you're a computer, material means a lot. And then you recapture with the bishop here. Okay, so normal thing would go like this. You come out, you put the knight, the bishop goes there, you put your queen here, they castle, you castle, they do something stupid, and can you see it's -3 now, right? Why was this stupid? Because it's 0-0 now. It's stupid because of this, right? So you play bishop takes h2 check, and the queen's going to fall. Okay, and we're winning 75% of games from here. And that's this position, this exact position has been reached 6,200 times on the Lichess database. Okay, so the downside of this gambit is when they take, sorry, if they don't take the second pawn. They don't take the second pawn, they just develop, they bring their bishop out to here, and you're just worse, right? 52% win rate for white. That's kind of normal, you know. But so normally black will play knight c6. Again, if they take second bite of the cherry, then you recapture with the bishop, and you've got this fun down the d file. But more commonly, I find in my experience, is bishop f4. Yeah, bishop f4. They're winning 56% of the time. Bishop g5, attacking the queen, defended by the knight there. They're winning 57% of the time, so it is dubious. Anyway, let's go back to the game. So here is the game. I have the black pieces. Was Doc 1966 a good sport? He's even older than me. I wonder if he's got all his own teeth. Okay, so d4, e5, takes. And now, right, the Charlick gambit continues with the immediate d6. And a lot of players are probably attuned to this. Okay, I'll take one pawn, but I ain't taking the second pawn, right? I've seen gambits before, right? So instead of doing that, what Simon's been playing, and he did it at least twice, I haven't finished the video yet, but he's played it at least twice in this one video, is knight to c6, right? What we're doing, we're attacking the pawn. Now, white's got a few ways to defend, okay? But the most common is the very natural knight here, and then we push d6. Now, so this is how the game, I'll show you how the game goes, right? Takey, takey, right? So here we are. This is actually exactly what we get in the Charlick gambit. The ideal Charlick gambit, right? So they play this, they take the pawn there, they take the pawn there, bishop recaptures, we bring out knight. very common. This bishop's going to come to here, etc., right? They think about fianchettoing. I ignore that and just go and hit the knight anyway. They fianchetto. Queen to e7. The point of this is to facilitate long castles. We're going to get the rook on here and then powie down the d file. Okay, he castles, I castle. Long castles, now threatening this. And by the way, bishop takes g3 is a perfectly valid move. Yeah, we're not going to win the queen because it doesn't come with check. The queen's going to move, sidestep or block or whatever, right? But we've just taken kind of an important pawn from in front of the king. That's the point. Okay. Now white gets wise, sticks his queen on e1, and here the general idea is if you don't get the cheapo attack, right, in the Charlick, it doesn't really matter. Look, we're castled well. We've got a rook on the open file, and now the point is just a balls out, all out attack, caveman style, up the king side. They bring the knight out, we bring the opposite knight out so that we're all covering the same things. Computer didn't like that for some reason. Okay, computer says just h4, just pile on in. Interesting. Yeah, I just played this kind of knee-jerk. One reason is I've been caught out by this move knight d5 quite a lot when your queen's there. Can be a pain. Maybe not. Now he's looking at fianchettoing his other bishop, which is a mistake. And I decide to trade off here. And the reason is, okay, I want to play h4 and I want to chip away at these pawns and weaken that nice little nest that the king's got. But the knight is obviously guarding that square. So I thought, okay, computer here says again h4, actually. It's also saying knight b4, but that's, yeah, I suppose targeting c2. Okay, so the computer doesn't approve of this at all, but we're back to evens. Bishop recaptures, and now off goes Harry, right? And black's doing well here, right? We're in blitz. I've spent 14 seconds so far. And I'm not saying that's big or clever. I ought to spend a little bit more time. But I kind of thought I knew what I was doing. So I take on g3. It's now -2 for black. He recaptures. And you can see here, I mean, look at that. Like, that's worth its weight in gold. An open H file when your opponent's king is castled to that side, it's beautiful. You know? So now, queen e5, what's the point here? Well, I'm threatening the bishop. I'm also threatening to try and bring my queen over somehow onto the H file. Obviously, that square isn't available right now. I'm kind of hoping he takes the knight. You can take the knight. This is good. And I just drop back. And the reason is, I've got bang, bang. That would be mate. Right? If I have 2 free moves now, it's mate. He takes the knight. Not good. Don't even need to take the bishop back. I take out that guy. Why do I take out that guy? Is it just this? I think queen h3. Yeah, queen h3 is forced mate in 4. Right? Okay, he goes here and loses his bishop. Right, so all he can do is throw bodies under the bus. Bishop h6. Yeah, that's it. This is actually basically an unstoppable mate, which I didn't calc, but takes, bishop retreats here. I now retreat my bishop, so you really missed an opportunity here. He pushes on, I bring in the knight, queen comes over, and it's mate. Okay, so yeah, with a bit of noggin, I should have wrapped that up a lot more easily. But what I wanted to look at is, let's just check this out, right? So, from this position, this is the Charlick offered, right? 61% of the time they will capture and will do all right. You know, black does well, okay? Problem is that the rest of the time, if they decline pawn number 2, then we don't do so well. So what I'm looking at now is, yeah, knight c6 is actually the most common move played at this level. And it's 46% win rate for black. So, I mean, bear with me, because I'm just like thinking this through. Okay, knight f3, fair enough. And now actually queen e7, most common, right? That's 50% win rate for white. d6 now is 48-48. Okay, and here most common move, again, 54%. All right. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the frequency of the moves as well. So actually, ED here is less common than ED here at 61%. That's interesting. I had a suspicion that we were going to find that actually this gambit is accepted more than the other one. As you see here, again, if they just play bishop out, bishop f4, bishop g5, 56-57 for white. Against here, bishop f4, 54% win rate for white. So what this is suggesting to me is that this straight up direct Hartlaup Charlick Gambit is actually the better bet than the Cowboy on mushrooms approach. So let's just work this through again. So let's say we do this. They're going to bring the knight out. 73% of the time they'll just do this. There, maybe it is a blitz weapon. Maybe that's all it is, right? Because like we see, if they don't take, if they just develop their bishop, you're going to have a hard old time of it. Computer here says bishop g5 is plus 1.1, bishop f4 is plus 0.8. So it's not like, hands down bad. But, yeah. So, I mean, Craig, one of the Chess Bootcamp Live coaches, like 2300 rated, I think, right now on chess.com. He's been playing the Charlick Gambit against d4 quite a lot. He's even played it in classical over the board as well. Like we say, I mean, this is the problem. You can see it. You can see it here on the chart of win rates. It's like if they accept the gambit, happy days. If they don't, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot. But there we go. Welcome to my world. And let's just for giggles, let's just compare something like the Budapest, right? So I think this is the Budapest defense, and here they do that, and then the Budapest Gambit I think is 94 here. That's the Fyarovitz variation. Or is it this one then? Okay, so this is it says Budapest defense. It's really a gambit because we've given up a pawn. But here, so if they take the next pawn here, it's actually 50% win rate for white. So, that was something else I was kind of toying with as maybe a d4 weapon. Yeah, not sure, mate. Absolutely not sure how to go. But maybe we will not play the Cowboy on mushrooms. Maybe we will carry on with the Hartlaup Charlick Gambit. We'll see. Any other suggestions on a postcard, please? Would love to hear it. But, yeah, I need to go back and tighten up a little bit on my my attacking trousers, because I definitely missed an opportunity here. Let's place your bets on accuracy. Probably around 70. Ooh, damn. Oh, please. 900? Oh, shocking. So here, look at this. Look at this. Mate and 4, right? So I should have just gone straight in. And there's literally all he's got is just delaying tactics, right? Yep. And whatever happens next, it's mate on either of these two squares. Nothing he can do. So, there we are. You live and you learn. But it's funny, isn't it, when you have these games where you absolutely kick someone's ass, or you get yours kicked, and it just turns around and goes, you both played like chumps. But anyway, screw you, computer. You, on the other hand, are awesome. Have a great day. I'll see you later.